todos ustedes y bienvenidos al nuevo show del abogado Vital de Carpio en esta gran y mundial plataforma donde hablaremos acerca de inmigración, de casos penales, de accidentes y si quiere tirar una curva, bienvenido aquí todos los días al pie del cañón. El abogado Vital de Carpio, despierte con Vital legalmente, aquí para apoyar a nuestra comunidad, donde pueden llamar y quitarse las inquietudes legales, aquí con el abogado Vital de Carpio. Si no hace nada, nada va a pasar. Vital de Carpio.
Thank you very much, everybody. Welcome on this weekend today, August 21, 2021, giving you the latest immigration news and an update of what has been happening during the past week. And we have a telephone number above that you can see that you can call us up and ask any questions that you like, okay? Give us a ring and we'll be glad to ask you. You can also call in Spanish, and let me just give an introduction in Spanish. Buenos días, damas y caballeros. Estamos aquí. El sábado generalmente damos este programa en inglés para las personas pues, que les gusta hablar inglés o a veces no entienden mucho el español. Entonces, pero es una recapitulación de toda la semana. Ok, y así es que escuchen y lo que estamos hablando lo pueden ver en otros videos de YouTube y Facebook de toda la semana. Así es que bienvenidos. Okay, welcome back. Okay, today, very important news that we have for you. We're going to talk about what's happening with President Biden regarding the immigration laws and whatever they're trying to do. And as you see the picture here, line up again to go into the immigration court. This is a photo of the immigration court at 606 Olive Street in Los Angeles. And this is how the people normally they would line up to go to the court. Okay, and thank you very much again. Thank you. The people in the studio like to clap a lot, and thank you. And what it is now we give you some tips of what to do while somebody decides to call. Up above, we got a number. And the tips are that always make sure you get a passport from your country. It's the best form of evidence or identification that you can have, okay? Now, sometimes people sell fraudulent work permits, fraudulent green cards. Do not ever participate in anything fraudulent, and do not ever change your name to work. It is not a crime nor an immigration violation to work. Okay, now you should have a work authorization, but we don't want you to make it worse by changing your name. That's committing fraud, and then committing fraud to the police. Make sure you always give the police or the authorities, the immigration department, your true and complete name, okay? And then that you can't go wrong with that. And remember, you always have a right to have a lawyer present with you at all times. So if anybody wants to give us a ring, and go ahead and give us a call right now and ask any questions regarding the immigration, and then we're going to be updating you as far as what has happened all week. Remember, Attorney Vital de Carpio is available, and we have a caller right now. Let's see. Good morning or afternoon. You're here with Attorney Vital de Carpio. What is your name and where are you calling from?
Hello, good morning, Mr. Vital de Carpio. Now, I have a question.
Yes, go ahead.
I got here on a tourist visa from Asia. Now, my visa is expired. Can you help me renew my visa and extend my visa because of the COVID? I cannot go back. So I'm stuck here with visa expired.
Oh, okay.
Can you help me extend it?
Yeah. What country did you say you're coming from?
Thailand.
Thailand. Is that country closed because of the COVID now?
Very strict.
Very strict. Okay. Well, let me let you know, ladies and gentlemen, many tourists have come in, especially last year in March and April, and they got stranded here in the United States because their country, wherever they came from, blocked, did not allow anyone going in or going out. And obviously, that is reasonable. So if someone should not, first of all, someone should not overstay the period that they give them to stay. How much time did they give you to stay in the United States as a tourist?
3 months.
Okay, so no one should go beyond the 3 months or the time that they give you, okay? Now, when that happens, if you want to stay longer than the 3 months, you should file for an extension of your visa, of your tourist visa, okay?
Okay.
Now, that is one thing you can do, and obviously you just put down the reason is that you need to wait until your country opens up or you're able to go back, or maybe somebody wants to extend the time to do a little more visiting, okay? And you can file that application. It's online. I think he pays $500 or whatever. And it takes about 6-7 months for them to issue a decision. And hopefully by then, the country would have opened up and would allow you to go back. Or in the case like we're having now, some countries are closing up. I know Vietnam has closed up and a couple other countries. The immigration will probably just give you an extension, maybe a longer period in order for you to go back. And if you guys, whoever is listening to me, if you did not get an extension, and when you go back to your country, and then when you try to travel again, and they ask you, how come you overstayed your 3 months or 6 months, just tell them, look, I was there in the middle of the pandemic, and have some articles on the newspaper that your country was closed, and that should not affect you to be able to return on another tourist visa. Okay, very good question.
Okay,
Any
very
other
good.
questions?
Thank you. Yes, I have one more question, follow-up question.
Follow-up.
Now, yes, a follow-up question. So after you help me extend my visa, and then if during that period of time, if I meet someone and the person is U.S. citizen, can I stay and apply for my legal status, or do I have to leave the country and then come back?
Okay, very good question. And you speak English very well for being a tourist. That's good. I guess you must have learned that when you were in Thailand. And yes, you can adjust your status. And the correct thing and proper thing would be for you to go back to Thailand, wait like everybody else has to wait, and then come back in. Now, the circumstances for everybody is different, so it's always good to consult in private with the attorney Vital de Carpio, which we can do a consultation from anywhere in the United States or anywhere in the world due to our satellite system that we utilize. You don't have to come into our office, but we can certainly give you all the privacy that you require for your specific situation. I think it's a very good question there, okay? Anything else?
Okay, thank you. And another question is, can we do Zoom if I am not close near your office? Can we do Zoom?
Yes, that's correct. That's through our satellite system. Yes, we can use Zoom, we can use email, we can use FaceTime, Skype, whatever system we want, we can utilize. And you do not have to be here at our office. So if you're in another country or in another state, anywhere in the United States, we can represent you in any process of immigration. Okay?
Okay, perfect, perfect.
Okay.
Do I keep this number so I call you back with this same number?
Okay, well, this number that you just called is the number during the program. Later on, we're going to provide the office number, and then you can call that number and communicate with us, okay? Also, keep an eye on us on YouTube and Facebook. We do come on English during the weekends, and you're welcome to look at us.
Okay, I will email you my information and my phone number, too. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. All right, we have a avid caller there. A lot of questions for one time, and that's good. Okay, taking advantage of that, and here we go, moving on with Vital de Carpio.
Ok, aquí estamos, damas y caballeros. Bienvenidos aquí al programa y buenas tardes y buenos días.
Buenos días.
Ok, y dígame usted, ¿por qué está aquí hoy día?
Porque voy a recibir mi residencia. Estoy bien contenta, bien feliz con el abogado.
Me alegro de eso y aquí le estamos entregando este documento.
Gracias.
¿Qué cosa es? Hable.
Es mi residencia por 10 años.
A ver, la vamos
Creo que ni le he visto.
Exactamente. Pues aquí pueden ver, tiene 10 años de la residencia legal de la señora. Dígame cómo se siente hoy día.
Oh, bien feliz porque obtuve lo que quería y el abogado Vital de Carpio todo el tiempo me ayudó, todo el tiempo estuvo conmigo para llegar a este momento tan esperado por mí y él siempre me ayudó.
Ok, dígame, ¿a través de qué obtuvo la residencia legal?
Por una visa U, porque me asaltaron aquí en los Estados Unidos.
Fue víctima de un crimen, ¿sí?
Sí.
Y bueno, la asaltaron, ya dijo, ¿no? Felizmente está acá y no la mandaron al más allá. ¿Sí?
Exactamente.
Y dígame, cuando usted vino aquí por primera vez, ¿qué pensó? ¿Estaba arisca? ¿Tenía temores?
Tenía miedo. Mi primera pregunta con usted, no se me olvida, fue que yo salí a México. Yo llegué en 2001, 2006 fui a visitar a mi familia y me agarró la migración 6 veces. 6 veces.
6 veces. Hijo, usted sí es porfiada, ¿no?
Sí.
Y así tenemos que ser porfiados para seguir adelante.
Pero
siga.
Pero gracias a Dios, yo le planteé mi caso al abogado Vital DiCaprio y él me dijo que la visa U todo lo perdonaba y él siempre me ha ayudado.
Bueno, me alegro. Y hoy día que usted está aquí recibiendo esta residencia legal, ¿cuántos años que no ha regresado al pueblo?
12 años, casi 13.
Ya está.
Casi 13 años.
Ok. Bueno, ¿qué les puede decir usted a las personas que están escuchando, viendo que ya tienen la residencia, que tal vez tienen temor, son tímidas, ariscas y no quieren venir?
Pues que tengan confianza con el abogado Vital DiCaprio porque es muy buen abogado y siempre y cuando decir la verdad, porque yo fue lo que me ayudó, que yo todo el tiempo yo dije la verdad, porque problemas todos tenemos. Todos tenemos siempre y cuando hay que decir la verdad.
Amén. Y ahora la oficina está aquí para cantarle la canción clásica, Las Mañanitas. Happy Mika to you. Happy Mika to you. Happy Mika, señora residente. Happy Mika to you.
Gracias.
¡Regalo! ¡Aplausos! Aquí un pequeño regalito.
muchas
Vean
gracias.
qué cosa es. A ver, para que la gente se anime.
Creo que es una cafetera.
Pues no abra la caja, pero ahí se ve. Ok, le deseamos lo mejor. Felicidades. ¡Gracias!
Muchas gracias.
And you just heard that lady who was told that she could not get a green card by several attorneys, came to Attorney Vital DiCaprio. We looked into it. Doug did a little research, and she definitely got her residency, legal permanent residency. Someone tells you that you cannot do it, come to this office. We'll look into it. We are very positive, and we don't just take no and say goodbye. We take it on, and that's how it is. Law offices of Vital DiCaprio. In addition, if anyone is involved in an automobile accident, you definitely need the legal services of Attorney Vital DiCaprio. There are consequences, monetary, and also compensation for your injuries, as well as the repair of your vehicle. And someone is at fault, and sometimes they say no, that you are, and therefore we have to litigate that. If someone has died in an accident, could it be train, airplane, or serious pedestrian or motorcycle accident, make sure you contact Attorney Vital DiCaprio to represent you in any automobile accident. And you need to react right away. Even if you get in an accident during the weekend, you can call us and we will call you back to give you advice. And never speak to the opposing insurance company, nor with your own insurance company until you speak to an attorney like Attorney Vital DiCaprio.
En caso de inmigración, la representación del abogado debe ser de aquel que tiene experiencia en inmigración y en casos penales. Con ustedes, el abogado Vital DiCaprio.
Así es, Scarlett. La representación, en su caso, es con experiencia y tenacidad. También tomamos casos de peticiones familiares, asilo político, visas de trabajo, visas para inversionistas y cualquier clase de casos de inmigración.
Llame ahora al 1-800-660-5006. En caso de inmigración.
Okay, we're going to go to remote. The engineer hasn't told me yet, but we'll be getting the remote to continue with this report that we have once a week. And here we go, we're in remote. Okay, everybody, this is Attorney Vital DiCaprio giving you an update of what's been happening with immigration laws during this week. We want to let you know that this week, the policy of stay in Mexico has been returned back to the prior administration. What does that mean? In the past, the people who came to apply for asylum were either arrested or they had to wait in Mexico for their hearing. And every time they had a hearing, they would take them into the United States, follow the hearing, and then send them back. People had to wait there months and even a few years to be able to have their case resolved because there were many people. When this new administration came in, President Biden didn't like that idea and revoked that policy, and the people now were able to enter into the United States and not wait in Mexico because it was danger. People just living there, they had no relatives, and other issues. And that law was just turned around by another judge who told Mr. Biden, that's not going to work. It's not constitutionally. And now the people who are coming asking for asylum, they're either going to be arrested or they're going to have to wait in Mexico for their hearing to determine if they have a valid political asylum case. That's one of the laws that happened last week. Also, I talked about the case called Nice Chavez, and that case indicated that if a document that was given to you originally to go to court was deficient, then you could set aside that case and maybe even annul deportation. Well, a new case came down in July of Bastida in the Ninth Circuit, which indicates that even though that document is defective, it still gives the judge jurisdiction to be able to continue with the proceedings. So right now, that came up nice and went back down, and we're going to wait to see if they appeal that decision and see what happens. And also, we talked about the U visa. A person who is a victim of a crime can apply for a U visa, which is a work permit of 4 years, and then 3 years later, they can get a legal permanent residency, and that was created for people who were victims of a crime. Well, the immigration released last week that there are 268,000 cases, and they only allow 10,000 U visas per year. So technically, that would be 26 years for people to get something. But the President Biden has indicated that they're going to accelerate the process in order to give people work permit until their complete application is analyzed. So we are waiting for that. We have no proof of that that's happened just yet, and that it's coming up. Okay, and the last law, when the President Biden came into power, he signed an executive order the next day indicating that there will be no deportation for the next 100 days, and for the Immigration Department of Homeland Security, to review the procedures and reduce the cases that are in the court for being deportation, do not deport the minor people who committed minor crimes, and focus the resources on the border, as well as in criminals who are committing serious crimes, aggravated felonies, or any other person who's a threat to the United States. So that went on when he took over sometime in January. 2 weeks later, a federal judge from Texas said you cannot stop deportation for the next 100 days. And that was the first block that President Biden received after he took office. Well, around March, the Department of Homeland Security issued a memorandum to all indicating that now you can close your cases in court if it's validly done, and you don't have to continue there, and to try to reduce the 1,300,000 caseload that the immigration judges are taking on. And there were avenues to reopen cases, to close the cases administratively, and people could go to the immigration themselves without going to court, and other people could file a waiver and go to a consular processing, which could be Taiwan, Vietnam, Mexico, or whatever country where they're going to get their visa. Now, that law was just stopped on Friday, and today is August 21st. So August 20, 2021, a federal judge in Texas stopped President Biden and indicated you cannot stop deporting people because it's against the law passed by Congress, which says you have to deport everyone that's a criminal. So now that just happened now, and many people who are waiting to close their cases from going to court that don't have any crimes, it's just wasting time, in some cases going to the court, are now in limbo. So we're going to be waiting to see if they appeal that decision and what happens, and maybe we'll get to the Supreme Court. But whatever decision comes out, Attorney Vital DeCarpio will provide it to you when it comes out right away. So subscribe on YouTube and Facebook to be able to get the latest news. Okay, and last, and one of the good news is the following. Almost a year ago or so, in July of 2020, when you filed an application for asylum or for the U visa, and if you left a blank space, for instance, if they say, do you have any kids? You check no, but below that, it has the information for the kids. And obviously, if you don't have any kids, what information are you going to put in there? So people left that blank, okay? Well, those applications were returned by the immigration because you left it blank. So you had to redo it and fill out none in every space. It seemed kind of childish, but obviously the immigration department didn't think so until a lawsuit was filed and said that is childish. And so a judge ruled this last week that any application that was returned because it was blank, they have until July 2022 to refile. Now, why does it matter? Because sometimes when you file an application, it has to be filed by a certain date. And if you miss that deadline, you miss that relief, you miss that opportunity to stay in the United States. And if that has happened because they returned it because of the childish blanks idea, then you have until July 22 to be able to refile, and it will be considered as if you filed it in a timely manner. Okay, Vital DeCarpio, every weekend speaking to you in English, and during the week, every day at 4 o'clock, speaking to you in Spanish, giving you the latest news. And there we go, Vital DeCarpio.
Gracias, damas y caballeros. Aquí con el abogado Vital DeCarpio. El teléfono de la oficina es el 714-953-2732. Y también puede ver al abogado Vital DeCarpio en el internet en abogadovital.com. abogadovital.com para ver la cara en nopal del abogado. También puede hacer una cita al 714-953-2732 por Skype, por correo electrónico. Y si tiene un accidente automovilístico o un caso de mala práctica médica, llame al abogado Vital DeCarpio al 714-953-2732. 714-953-2732. El abogado Vital DeCarpio. Y San se acabó.